Hey everyone, I'm here to do a book review today, and the book that I'm going to be reviewing is one that I just finished reading a couple minutes ago actually. It is The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This book is about a 17-year-old art student in Prague named Karu, and Karu is a very unusual teenage girl. She has apparently natural blue hair. She has tattoos all over her arms, including on her palms. She has these eyes on her hands that she remembers having ever since she was a babe. She has no family that anyone knows of. She's very strong and able to defend herself well. She's well knowledged in martial arts and in that kind of thing, self-defense, and she disappears for long periods of time. In her sketchbooks at school, her classmates all see she draws these creatures called chimera, or monster slash human creatures. I guess creatures made from all sorts of different humans and other different animals combinations. And Karu names these characters and tells stories about them, and everyone in the class thinks that, they're just part of her imagination, but it turns out that they're actually real, and that Karu was raised by these chimera. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Ever since she was a baby, she has not known any actual human family, despite being at least apparently human herself. They're the only family that she's known. She has no recollection and no idea really about her true origins, who her birth parents were. As far as she remembers, she was raised by these chimera, especially her foster father, Brimstone. He is a wishmonger. I guess he has a business or a shop where he deals in teeth. He gives out wishes in exchange for teeth from humans. So there are other humans who know about this shop, but no one is as close to this world as Karu is. You get through the shop through a portal, I guess, through doors to buildings. There's a portal, and then you can go into the shop, which is through the portal instead of actually into the real building, which is interesting. And Karu, I guess, has the struggle with her life, trying to balance having a normal teenage life in Prague and being an art student, and she has trouble with her ex-boyfriend and crap like that, and but she doesn't know who she really is, and there have been kind of tensions going on with her family, especially Brimstone, as the book begins. This book I really wanted to love. The cover is beautiful. I really like it, and I like the title as well. It really gets your attention. Karu, I thought, was really a fascinating and well-written character. Very believable given the circumstances of how she's raised. Obviously, no one in your life that I know of would be raised by monsters like that. And she's a strong character, but understandably she has some insecurities given her life. The writing the prose I thought was beautiful. The story was very engaging. I loved the world that Laini Taylor created, where you have the human world, you have these chimeras who are seemingly monsters, but are all, they all have their own different personalities, and at least the ones that Karu knows are very nice. And then you have another world that you don't get to know about until later in the story, which I'm not going to spoil. But after a great beginning where I was really sucked in and I'm enjoying this and I want to know, I'm like, oh my god, what is this mystery? Where does Karu come from? What is going on here? There is a love interest introduced, and his backstory is very much entwined with Karu's. You don't find out how until later on in the book. But although they don't start out on the right path, they fight, and I guess he tries to kill her when they first meet. After that, it becomes insta love very quickly, and it was all downhill from there. I found nearly everything else except the romance in this book to be fascinating. I was totally into it. I was engaged as I was reading it, but all the lovey-dovey sappy crap, I was just rolling my eyes and being like, oh my god, it's another typical paranormal romance with insta-love. And I don't want to give away too much, too many details specifically about the romance and the backstory or anything, but it really did not please me, and it hampered my enjoyment quite a bit. I feel like after the strong start, until the romance really got going, I would have given this probably 5 stars, at least maybe 4.5 at the lowest. But after that point, I was just like, come on, seriously, again? I'm sick of this. I do not like insta-love, and it ruined this book. I ended up giving it only a 3.5. I know a lot of people absolutely love it, and I guess I am not the best person to love this book, seeing as I don't like paranormal romance. I mean, all the tropes that usually appear in it. The only good point about the romance in this that I can think of was that there was no love triangle, but knowing the trends and fads in YA nowadays, there's probably going to be a love triangle introduced in the second book. Fingers crossed there isn't, and I'm still interested to read the rest of the series because I believe it's a trilogy. I want to know more. I want to know more about everything with the exception of the romance. So yeah, just that one supposedly minor thing that became the big motivation for everything at the end, and the romance, and it was really the reason behind a lot of stuff that had happened and led to, you know, the events previous to this book. Kind of like nothing in here would have happened if it hadn't been for the romance. And I don't know, I feel like it should have just been cut out and or revised extensively to remove all of the insta-love crap. So I'm sorry, I guess I was not the right audience to love this. I still really did enjoy it, but yeah, it's only a 3.5 out of 5 stars, so I would recommend it. I feel like the majority of people love it, but with a warning, to just be prepared for the romance in this. And I was warned because I had read a couple reviews. They're really the minority, or I had watched one, I think Renee or Nihomas 2 did a video sometime previously, months and months ago, that I vaguely remembered watching, and as I was reading it, I'm like, oh my god, it brought back in my mind. And when I finished, or as I was close to finishing, I'm like, this is that book where she was talking about the romance killing it, isn't it? And I pulled up the video on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly how I feel. So her review gives away a little bit more spoilers, so if you're hesitant about that, I would not watch it if you don't really want to know anything. But yeah, sorry I didn't love it, but that's all I have. I'll see you guys in my next video.